Fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News as we introduce Counterpunch live. Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Arnold Barbosa, Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez. 3 times, people. Yes, Turkey Al-Sheikh has done it again. Madison Square Garden, outside Times Square, first of its kind, New York, New York. Here we go. Guys, I do apologize. I was working on a house most of the day. It's been a long day. Got a lot done, and we're going to do a lot more right now live. Okay? Let's start with the comments. Okay, fight started. Where you at? Right here. Julian Falcon. Yo, Kurt, my guy, start the live. Tio is fighting. Let's go. So let's see what Tio's doing, because this is a fight where Tio gave him a smack with a right, and we need to see how this fight is going to go. Let's go. Let's go. Jake Paul versus Chavez. Let's see. Cool. There we go. Some of them. All right, here we go, guys.
You know, funny enough, he really didn't even speak much until he was 11 years old. Wow.
Okay, so we got Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. This is the round 5. And you know something? I'm hearing from the live feed. Turkey Al-Sheikh is in the building. Of course, you know he's there. He is the one that makes everything where it's at. You calculate the time wrong, you're missing the fight. Go live, bro. Ramirez is up next. Yeah, it's crazy. I was told it was 8. You know, crazy. Mama Lou, what it do? Okay, we got Mama Lou, Skrilla 50, CJ, Ass Skip. What do we got? Crushing Mike. No KOs yet. All right, so what did I miss, bro? Because I just got up and I'm like, oh, okay, I got a few days, a little time to spare. No, I didn't. You know, but boxing is dead. Ooh. So you guys tell me what happened. There's Ryan with a right hand. Tio stop. Tio was the best fight. Dude, I miss Teofimo Lopez versus Barbosa. Yeah, that's super shitty, man. I could have started at 7. Need refund. Ryan is going to fight KSI next. Tio's the most talented. Ryan ain't hungry. You gotta understand, Ryan's coming off a layoff too, man. You know what I mean? Due to, you know, drugs in his system, failed drug tests. You know, that's how it is. I mean, it is what it is. Say, like, worst event ever, because I already bought it. I bought it in the bundle. I bought that, and I bought Canelo Alvarez for tomorrow. Okay, and I'm gonna start extra early just because this is crazy. Now I was told it was 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Central, not 8 p.m. in Eastern. CST means Central Standard Time. That's what it said when I looked it up. So it is what it is. Juice Ryan was entertaining though. And the crazy thing is, I don't know. Ryan, I think he needs to get, I think he has to break these cobwebs, man. I think just because, Roller versus Timo, that wouldn't be bad. And based on their sparring history, that fight wasn't what that sparring session reflected a lot about those styles because see, Rolly Romero is a big banger. Ryan is a hooker and he's quick. But he's a one-punch fighter, though. He's not really what you think he is. We've learned that about Ryan. Like, I've learned about Ryan years ago. I'm like, okay, he's not all that good. I mean, shout out to him. Shout out to Derek James for staying with Derek because he keeps his hands up. Like look what Derek did with Joshua there. He had Joshua's hands up. He was defensively responsible. So at least he's staying with Derek James, which is a good thing. Now mind you, up until Errol Spence's destruction, Derek James was that guy. Was that trainer of the year because he had Errol Spence, and Errol Spence was undefeated. He was a unified welterweight champion until he got beat. Then all of a sudden, everything started to crumble down. He had AJ, he had Frank Martin, remember the Ghost, until he got crushed by Javante Tank Davis. He had Ryan Garcia. Then he had Charlo, Jermell, I believe, right? So he had a lot of these guys, and Jermell got beat by Canelo, Errol Spence got beat by Crawford, Ryan Garcia tested dirty, and then Errol Spence got destroyed, one-sided ASS beating, okay, by Crawford, and his stock just. And then, everybody else kind of went everywhere. Joshua went to Ben Davison. Ryan Garcia, he was suspended and had to do his time outside the ring. This may or may not be the reason why he's not doing as well. Because I haven't seen anything significant so far, and we've just got here. You know what I mean? So when I seen Rolly Romero, I'm thinking to see Tio and Barbosa. That was the fight that I wanted to see. I tell you what I'm going to do, man, because this ain't right. I bought it already. Tomorrow morning, we're going to do a rewatch along. Yeah, because we got to make this right because I haven't saw it. You guys saw it. I haven't saw it. You guys will watch it with me. All right? We're going to do a watch along tomorrow early, okay? Maybe when I wake up, maybe about 10 o'clock, and I'll put it replay. Okay, so we will stop it. Well, actually, we'll do the whole thing. We'll do the whole thing because I can't. All that build up between Tio and between Barbosa. Barbosa charged up Tio and told him to take off the attire that he was wearing. Tio was like, I ain't taking off nothing. Get back, and then he ended up slapping him. I gotta see that. And I'm hearing, that was the best on the card. Ryan bet not win like Devin Haney. So Devin Haney, I know, beat Jose Ramirez. I know that wasn't going to happen. Let me tell you guys a story, right? Since there's such a lull in this fight. I remember back in the day, this was in 1999. I mean, like maybe April or May of 1999. I was 19 years old. I loved boxing. I was pretty much about 165 pounds. I was training like the Dickens. I had just made good silver gloves. See, in Louisiana, we have silver gloves. So I was in pretty good shape. I drank, but I smoked. And smoking will hinder any type of, performance. You can't smoke and be an athlete. You just can't. You know what I mean? Ask Jesus Chavez about that. The same Jesus Chavez that went 10 rounds, very competitive, with Floyd, Pretty Boy Mayweather, and ran out of gas because he smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day when he was locked up because he was born in Mexico, raised in Chicago, got deported back to Mexico. Some shit that happens right now, needless to say. And then he came back. But while he was in Mexico, he smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day. Then came back, worked himself back into shape, fought Floyd Mayweather, went 10 rounds, and ran out of gas the last 11th and 12th. And then that's when Floyd got him. Okay. But anyway. All right. Lopez was the best of anyone. Ryan is done for. Romero win. And now Devin Haney, see, if Ryan loses, it's gonna make Devin Haney's case that much more credible. Why? Because see, you can't come off a drug ban and look bad. You can't. Because it makes you look like the only reason you won those damn fights is because you lost your cycle date. You didn't know how to get off that cycle date without that being registered. See, you got to know when to cycle off drugs. See, it's so many people that do drugs these days, they already know. They already know when. You know, they're pretty much advised. Don't get it twisted. The people that sell these athletes this stuff, they know, hey, listen, you got to do it 2 weeks and give yourself 24 hours. So 2 weeks and a day to make sure everything is out of your system before this happens. You got to do that. If you don't do that, you might test positive. You know what I mean? And we don't want to give any surprises. So matter of fact, how about a week and 2 days? So give yourself 48 hours and then start your cycle to make sure everything goes the way it's supposed to go. So people tell you, I'm pretty sure, bro. You know what I mean? So it's too many people that do it. And I'm hearing the live streams. I'm hearing this, bro. Devin is laughing at Ryan. He should be. Because here's the thing. Again, it makes him look more credible from taking an ass beating by somebody that was juiced up. And now he's sitting there timid. That's what Ryan's been doing. And I'm sitting there like, wow, what's up with this dude? You know, what's the deal with him? You know, and he came in 3 pounds overweight fighting Devin Haney. You know, that was supposed to be a fight that he's supposed to made that weight, you know. But those guys understand, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, like I said a long time ago about Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Teofimo Lopez. All of those guys are going to fight. They're just not going to fight at 135. I told you guys that. I told you guys that 3 years ago. Everybody was, oh, the Kings at 135. Bro, they're not going to fight at 135 because they're young. By the time their bodies expand, they're going to be bigger. When they're bigger, then they will fight at the weight they supposed to fight at, and that's welterweight. It ain't 135, bro. Okay? 135, right? It's only so many people that are going to be at 135. That's why Tank Davis really won't be along and around a long time. Why? Because he claims he can't make the weight that we all know he can. If Gervonta Tank Davis wanted to be great, which he doesn't care about being great because he was spoiled and enabled by money that I don't think he really deserves, simply based off the fact that he never really did things that the greats do. Floyd, Money Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Sugar Shane Mosley. You know, those guys, Terrence Crawford, those guys were at a smaller weight and went up. Gervonta Tank Davis, you can't tell me that this cat don't walk around at 150. Come on. See, I've said this years ago. You should be no less than 10 to 15 max. You're walking around weight getting into the ring. Because when people shrink down, they're 189, they're 190 damn near, and they got to get down to 154 or 160 or 147. That's not fair. It's not fair to them. Because all it does, you're doing a fat camp. You don't even work on the game plan. You're working on getting the weight off. That's not fair to you. And plus, you're stripping away all the minerals, all the fluids, all this body intake. You're taking from yourself. Your body can't handle that. And the older you get, the harder it is. You know, look at Chris Eubank Jr., for example. This cat did sauna. That cat did infrared. He did other stuff that is prohibited by the BBBFC. If you guys seen my video, he's being investigated because the things that he was doing didn't coincide with the rules of the BBBFC. Now they might fine him again. You know? So it's crazy. Bill ain't happy because Bill wanted that redemption. You know, I like Bill. I mean, Bill, you have Bill, Angel Garcia, Teofimo Lopez Sr. Those guys are very colorful fathers. You know what I mean? They're very colorful, you know, and they are. Oh my God. What did I just see? What is this? Oh, down goes Ryan. Bro, bow, left hook, bow, left hook. Down goes Ryan. Ooh, look, this is going to be bad, bro. This bad, bro. That's the second loss. So what? Ooh, left hook to the body. Man, this is the sport that I love. Yeah, he dropped Ryan in the second. Okay. Oh, man. Man, this better. Ooh. Look, online scoring. Romero, 84. Ryan, 17. If Ryan somehow gets ooh. Oh, yeah, man. It's a draw. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh man. Okay, so we don't know yet. I don't know. They're just speculating. Dude, and I missed that. I missed the well. Look, we got to do this again. We got to make this right. We can't. No. Hell no. You know, no. Mm-mm. Here we go. We'll see, because now if Ryan somehow wins, you know the fix is in. Because if the fight was like this the whole time, and if T.O. versus Barbosa was the best fight, that means this wasn't the best fight. So that means we had a lot of moments of mediocrity. The moments of mediocrity consist of nothing happening, or nothing remotely exciting happening. So here we go. ¡El cubano la mitad! ¡El cubano la mitad! Rolly! Yeah, I beat that boy, man. I beat him. I told you everybody was talking about me. Everybody said I couldn't do it, but I put a whooping on Ryan. I knocked him down in the second round, and I knew I had him because I knew he was stage fright. I knew he couldn't do nothing. I got him. I got that boy. Ay, viva Nueva York en la casa. Wow, upset, baby. Now.
Look, I just want to say, more than anything, I owe this all to the Lord and our Savior, Jesus Christ.
Come on. Come on.
You know, you're one of the biggest punchers in boxing. In round 2, you went on a left hook. You dropped Ryan Garcia. How big was that to winning this fight?
I mean, knockdowns always help the fight, you know, but I mean, he's a warrior. He got up and, you know, he finished the fight.
We all know Ryan Garcia was headed towards a rematch with Devin, Haney. You and Haney have exchanged a lot of words over the years. Who do you fight next?
Come on.
Man, I ain't even thinking about what's next. I think Devin and Ryan should get their rematch and make a big one.
Rolly Romero, congratulations.
Hey, he ain't even hating. He ain't even trying to come in the he ain't trying to move in the way of anybody.
We're here with Ryan Garcia.
Let's hear Ryan, guys. Let's see what he got to say.
What went wrong in there?
just Rollies, man. He fought a good fight, caught me early. No excuses, man. Congrats to him. He did a great job, and that's that.
We know it was a long layoff for you, 1 year since that Devin Haney fight, and you didn't seem to really be throwing a lot of punches in there. How much did the layoff affect you?
I just think that whole year just took a lot off my body, physically, mentally. I'm just happy that I made it to the ring and went 12 rounds. So thank God for the opportunity. I want to thank Jesus Christ for my losses and my wins. And hats off to Rollies. He did a great job.
And you were dropped in round 2, of course. The same round you were dropped against Luke Campbell. And that fight you rallied to score the knockout in round 7.
Cool hand, Luke.
Round, it doesn't go your way. What's next for you?
Oh, you just got to go to the drawing board with my team. We'll talk it over and we'll see what we do next.
Ryan Garcia, one of the biggest stars in boxing. Thank you, Ryan.
That's it, guys.
So an unusual night.
Well, here's the thing. Upsets, that's why I do not gamble. That's why I don't gamble. See, when you guys understand something, when you guys understand that boxing, like I've been saying, boxing is the sport that I love, that I hate so much. And I hate it for a lot of reasons, and I love it for a lot of reasons. Sometimes it's 50-50, sometimes it's 70-30, you know, for either side, because it always changes, okay? It always changes. Now, here's the deal. Boxing, because I'm hearing here like, oh, boxing's dead. No, boxing is very untamed. And it's so untamed because you don't know how a fighter's mentality is. You don't know how driven a fighter is, how focused a fighter is, how in shape a fighter is, how prepared a fighter is. You don't know any of these things until they get in the ring. Okay, and then when they get in the ring, they show you, like Rolly just did. Like Rolly just did. This half Cuban cat, you know, just did. And I couldn't stand Rolly, bro. Kind of Rolly just grew on me because I'm like, yeah, he's kind of humorous. His voice gets me, but I get him down. Yeah, I just thank you. I thank the Lord Jesus Christ, and I'm just thankful for this victory. And then he didn't even really say, he said, hey, they can fight. He said that anyway. He said, yeah, everybody's overlooking me, but when I beat them, they can still fight. Because really, if you look at it, people look at Devin Haney as being a loser. That's the facts. Everybody's seen him get his ass handed to him by Ryan Garcia. Am I right or am I wrong? Everybody saw that. Everybody saw Ryan put a bad, brutal beating on Devin Haney. Okay? Devin Haney got his O back, and a lot of people are like, so what? You got your O back. We still seen you get beat. Doesn't matter if he cheated or not. We saw that fight. That fight was horrible. And I don't know if it's because of the left hook landing and the inability for Devin Haney to tuck his damn chin. You know what I mean? Throwing that jab like that, like it's a fencing sword, and his ass paid the price. That may or may not be. The only way we're going to know is if they fight again. If they fight again. So now Ryan has taken his second loss. Okay, now they're both in the same field. Now Ryan don't look so good. For the guys that supported Ryan and like, hey, I don't care what was in his system. It was a setup. It was this. It was that. Okay, it didn't really matter now, did it? Because he just got beat by Rolly Romero. You know, unless he tests positive again. But more than likely, he won't. Okay, he won't test positive again because, you know, this is a Ryan Garcia. It could have been the layoff. You know, like I said earlier, I said, yeah, it kind of looks like he's rusty. But, I mean, that's what happens, though. You know. Oh, that's Mike Tyson. Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. Mr. Zane coming in with that super chat. Thank you, brother, for that 35 czar. Fighting is difficult. Anyone that's ever fought knows that. I don't respect non-fighters who call these fighters bums. Fighters are different. Counterpunch to you, Mr. Zane in the building. Appreciate that love. Not surprised Rolly is An awkward beast. Yeah, I told people the awkwardness of Rolly. If you guys seen, just look at the sparring between these guys. Just look at the sparring. Shout out to Ask Skip. 30 months has been Counterpunch Silver. Counterpunch to you, brother. JD Walker, the boss talker. Bars. I'm not going to lie. That fight. Hold on a second. That fight is not worth $90. Well, it was a bundle. So, I mean, you can't talk about this venue without talking about the bundle, the other fight. So they're all in one, right? So, you know, we have to see what William Skull and Canelo was going to do. Who the hell knows? Skull could be that other guy like Rolly Romero tomorrow. Think about it. I've seen Skull. I'm like, yo, Skull can fight. And he got good feet. Something that Canelo don't have. See, Canelo's Achilles heel is always going to be his footwork or lack of. He's not a tap dancer. He's not a Bruce Lee. He's not a Dimitri Bivol. He's not a Muhammad Ali. He's not a Floyd Money Mayweather. He's not that. He's a guy that has good upper movement and great counterpunch ability. That's Canelo Alvarez, and a good chin and a good punch. That's Canelo Alvarez. That's who he is through and through, right? He is not this. He's not that dude. He's one of those dudes that come in, and what makes him exciting, he's able to hit you and drop you and catch you and take you down. That's what the significance of Canelo Alvarez is. In a nutshell, that's Canelo Alvarez. If you're a guy that likes to throw a lot of punches or you're this Mexican style, he will beat you. Actually, Canelo Alvarez is the Mexican assassin. His style will crush any Mexican. Why? Because Mexicans believe in coming toe-to-toe, fighting toe-to-toe, fighting in the phone booth, and Canelo is so good with counterpunching ability, you're not going to be able to beat him. That's the facts, not with that style. But a pure boxer that don't give you those things, don't let themselves open, don't stay in the pocket, don't give him time to think and set up counterpunches, all that. He doesn't like that style. In fact, Canelo has went on record and say, I don't like Crawford's style. He moves around too much. Well, that's your challenge. In fact, if I'm Canelo and I really want to be challenged, if I was Canelo, I would have fought Laura twice or 3 times. Why? Because, see, that style is the style that gives his style problems. So if you wanted to test yourself, you would test yourself based on the amount of difficulty you have. Like, man, that's a difficult style. I hate that style. I gotta fight that guy. Why? Because that guy is a challenge for me. That's what I would say about Canelo. That's what he should do. You see what I mean? Glad Rolly won. Good for him. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, that's a good left hook by Tio. Oh, good right by Tio. You know, it's crazy, though. All that buildup. I mean, there's no knockdowns, just tough competitors. Tough competitors. Huh. I'm looking at Jose versus Devin Haney here in a second. They should have robbed Rolly, so my parlay would have lived. Well, Julian Falcon, I tell you this. I mean, I'm glad that it went the way it's supposed to go, because the last thing we need on a Turkey a la Sheik card is signs of corruption. We don't need signs of corruption on a Turkey a la Sheik card. Don't need that at all. Duke Ryan looked uninterested in the entire lead up to the fight. Well, let me give Ryan credit. He didn't make excuses. Now, Michael Benson, now the new Ring Magazine employee, I'm coming soon, did give him a way out. I know the layoff, and you know what I mean? And Ryan didn't even allude to the layoff until he mentioned the layoff. If you notice, think about it. Ryan Garcia, he's like, hey, I thank the Lord Jesus Christ for my wins and my losses. He was the better man tonight. No excuses. That's it. That's all Ryan said, people. That's everything he said. Michael Benson. Well, we know the layoff. We know the layoff. So we know the layoff was a factor. So what do you tell us about that? How much did it affect you? You know what I mean? So listen. I think a lot of them, they're meant to do that. That's one of the biggest stars in boxing, Ryan Garcia. It's good to know that you can take a loss. It's good to know that you're not protected. It's good to know that you don't have another guy that's a tyrant, that's a very huge force in the sport of boxing, that has been caught with questionable cards. See, if Ryan would have won, that would have made Turkey Al-Sheikh look bad. That would have made that new bullshit boxing league look bad. It would have made Ring Magazine look bad. It would have made DAZN look bad. It would have made a lot of things in boxing, which is the biggest network in the sport of boxing since 2018 when it came on the scene. Now, you guys know what I mean, and I was one of the first ones that told you it's on DAZN. You remember I was telling you that? I was telling you guys, like, listen, DAZN is going to be bigger than people acknowledge. The only people that were talking smack about it were the PBC, Fox, Showtime, ESPN2, but they had their streaming as well, and they were the resistance. But they were bigger back then because we had more American stars back in those days. Now we don't. Everybody's on DAZN. So, and Devin's laughing because now his case for Ryan losing, Ryan should have came into this fight. Now, let's talk about Ryan Garcia for a minute. Ryan Garcia should have came into this fight knowing that he needs to prove something, knowing that he must make a statement, knowing that he must get the job done because his people that look at him still is a racist cheat. I'm going to say that again. A lot of people look at Ryan Garcia as a racist cheat, a racist drug cheat, a guy that cuts corners, a guy that is put in the same boat as Conor Benn, a guy that said racial slurs against Muslims and blacks. You can't forget that, people. So he had to come in to make a statement, to make us all forget about that, to make us forget about the drug positive, make us forget about the racist slurs, which some people won't forget. I won't forget. I'm not gonna hang them at the cross for it. But it is very, very stupid for you to go on a social platform and say the things that you said and expect people to forget it and then blame it on mental health issues. You don't do that. Because, see, one thing about Tyson Fury did the same thing. But Tyson Fury, never got caught saying derogatory slurs to or about someone. Yes, I remember in COVID 5 years ago when he was singing Biggie Smalls. That is not the same. Matter of fact, I salute him for saying that because it's words of a song. If you don't know, now you know. Right? And you guys know I don't say that on my platform. I don't use those words on my platform. I don't. But he was at home like everybody else was, cooped up, singing with his family. That's what he does. That's what he did. You know what I mean? He was just being him. He was just being himself like Tyson Fury has. But you never heard Tyson Fury talk bad about a group of people like Ryan did. Ryan also blamed mental health issues when he ducked Fortuna the first time. There is a video out on Fortuna and Ryan that Fortuna was coerced to take a dive because he's supposed to got hit so fast that Fortuna just kind of, it was like, it's supposed to, I don't know how true it is. It's just some cat was saying that, no, listen, Ryan was saying go down when he hit him, go down. And then, Fortuna went down. Lopez looked great today. Yeah, Lopez, man, I just hope he don't test positive. And I'm not trying to say that because I'm saying Tio is cheating. I'm not trying to say that because I see his demeanor. He's either like, Teo, I never seen Teo like this before. Teo's mostly calm. His father and passive kind of, you know. His dad is the aggressive. Now he's more of this guy that's kind of headphones on and I'm like, what's wrong with this dude, man? What are you on, Adderall or something? What's the deal with you? What's happening with you? You know, and if he listen, I just hope Teo's good. That's it. I just hope he's good. Because if he's not good and if he tests something, oh, that's gonna be bad, bro. You know, but I think Teo, man, maybe he's going through something. Man, my heart went out to him when he his wife left him and his wife's family drained him, if you guys can remember. Yeah, and he was going through a lot. I mean, he was going through it. And I hate, look, being a boxer, fighting in a sport that is not a game, that you can go in there and lose your life, lose your livelihood, lose your health, lose your ability to walk and talk, health. Then you got to worry about shit at home. You know what that's like? That reminds me of guys that go away to war, like the Iraq War or the Desert Storm, Desert Shield. Yeah, I'm old. I know. But any war, Vietnam, whatever. And they go away to war, risk, seeing people getting chopped into by bullets and blown away by grenades and shrapnel and bullet warfare and, all types, and people dying in your arms and hollering and screaming and murdering of the innocent and all this from different countries. And you wake up time and time again in sweats and shit, and you're dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder. And then your wife comes to you and talking about the fucking dishes. You don't want to hear that. Talking about the laundry. You don't want to hear that shit. Cheating on you. You don't want to go through shit like that, going through what people go through. You don't want to hear that at all. Did I get him? You don't want to hear that at all. You don't want to hear or go through or experience or deal with that type of shit in your life. Yeah, that knockdown rocked his core. Yeah, that might have put him on, it might have spooked Ryan, man. Ryan is Oliver McCall. Ooh, the comparison now. Ryan's a much bigger star than Oliver. Oliver McCall was good, though. He was a lot better than people thought he was. I seen sparring sessions with Oliver McCall versus Mike Tyson. If you haven't seen that, people, I implore you to watch those. And they were very good. It wasn't the Mike Tyson that was knocking people out and knocking me out. You gonna knock me out, motherfucker? You gonna knock me out? You got 10 seconds, motherfucker. I'm gonna knock you out. Not that. Not Oliver McCall. Oliver McCall was giving Mike Tyson the business. Oh yeah, he was giving him the business. Ryan Garcia without pads is very weak. Rolly exposed him. See, that's the narrative. That's the narrative. Oliver McCall is one of boxing's biggest what ifs. Well, I don't know what was weird. I don't know what was wrong with him. Because, see, here's the thing. Drugs, intimidation, mental health, or all three. Because you think about it. Yeah, he dealt with drugs. Don King was a very powerful, conniving, and dangerous individual. He was a showman, but understand Don King was just as dangerous as he was exciting. Don King, bro, listen, Don King is like allegedly, but come on. Don King supposedly, allegedly told this guy, Oliver McCall, hey, you either fight or something's very bad going to happen to you. The same thing was said about Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes, he called Larry Holmes. Don King did. You're fighting Mike Tyson. You're fighting Mike because I said so. You know, a lot of these things in boxing, bro, it's like it's mob orientated. You know, maybe Garcia can retire now. Ryan Garcia saying he would retire Rolly in the face of him. Well, obviously he's not. And hey, man, good win for Rolly. This is his signature win of his career. Yeah. You know, Rolly, I think, lost to Marinez. You remember Marinez? The Dominican fighter that beat his ass with a jab, something that Ryan couldn't do tonight. He beat this boy with a jab during quarantine, and they robbed him. There were no knockdowns. They robbed that Dominican fighter, and it pissed me off. And I knew it wasn't fair. I said, you know what? That ain't right. Ryan Garcia meant to be faster, too. Well, he looked like a guy that was unsure based on the rounds I seen. He looked like a guy that didn't really it looked like he really I don't know. I mean, I think the knockdown might have did something to him because I guess he forgot this ain't sparring and Rolly can really crack. Gervonta Tank Davis already testified about how strong or bigger of a puncher that Rolly was. He said, no, Rolly actually hurt me, but it just shows you Tank is tougher and has a better chin than Ryan. He's just a different fighter. The only problem with Gervonta Tank Davis was enabled. He was enabled for a very long time by Floyd because he was controlled. Floyd maneuvered and navigated his career the way he wanted his career to go. That's what Floyd did. So you want to see what Floyd would have done in this time? He did it with Gervonta. Haney was winning rounds against Ryan. Knockdown saved him. Ryan loses rounds in this new weight. Left hook won't knock everyone out. No, stay there. Stay there. Stay there. He kept his gloves up to disable his left too. Well, it is what it is. He lost. So it's a good thing, man. It's a very good thing. Here's the thing. Ryan's going to look good defensively because that's one of the things that Derek James teaches you, to be defensively responsible. Not to do things that put yourself in situations to be hurt or to get hit or to be vulnerable because you got hurt, because you got hit. You understand? So that's Derek James. It's one thing that he doesn't get enough credit for. He knows how to defensively teach his fighters. He said he'll take him out with his right hand tonight. Well, obviously he didn't, and he got beat. Garcia said he'll get Rolly out with a right. The trainer that Rolly had that sounded like the Cookie Monster must be punching air right now. Well, upset. The main event, Ryan Garcia. Coming back after a drug ban, inactivity could be a factor. I do think, though, Ryan, it looks bad on him. It looks really bad because, you know, Ryan should have done more tonight. You know? But again, I've seen these guys spar. That's almost like this. If Mike Tyson fought Oliver McCall, and then everybody's like, oh my God, what are we looking at? And Oliver McCall is giving Mike the blues in fights. You know, especially at a certain point in time, that Mike Tyson that was bigger, stockier, bulkier, that just came out of jail, that Mike would probably lose to Oliver McCall. Because the Oliver McCall that knocked out Lennox Lewis versus the Mike Tyson that got out of jail and they fight. And then Oliver McCall beats Mike Tyson. Everybody will be like, oh, upset, upset. No, it's not an upset. Not at all. Because people forgot about Oliver McCall. Bars. Give us Devin versus Rolly. You know what? I think that could work. Why? Because you guys remember before Devin Haney got beat by Ryan Garcia, and then it got reversed. Let's put it that way. You got to say the whole thing, then say it got reversed. Rolly was talking a lot of mierda about Devin. Remember, that boy can't even punch. He can't even punch. He's a bum. You remember that? And I'm like, okay, well, why don't you fight the bum? Because what I noticed about Devin Haney, he fought everybody, or he wanted to fight everybody, and he was willing to fight everybody. Like Showbiz, do the Devin Haney, do the Devin Haney. That's why he said that, because Devin Haney wanted to fight a lot of people. You know, he had the Lomachenko fight, even though a lot of people think he lost. But, you know, I knew they weren't going to do that to Devin Haney. Daniel Dubois in la casa. And listen, I got a lot of videos to come out with. I was working most of the day, so the videos that I had to put them on hold because I was working on my house today. Being a homeowner is challenging, but it's a job that somebody got to do it. Rolly can't be fighting Shakur or Haney. He output is low, and these guys tag and move. Yeah. It's a fight I'm not really looking forward to seeing, you know, with Shakur. Shakur has bad hands. We'll see how he comes back. Because I seen his last fight when he fought that electrician or whatever, that plumber or whatever he was. Man, he was throwing and landing shots, and each time he landed, you can tell his hands weren't the way they supposed to be because he would shake his glove every time he would land. If you remember Shakur, every time he would land, bow! You could tell him move because he was moving him because his hands are brittle. You know, his hands are like that brittle candy that you get in the tin foil, you know, the peanut brittle. It's like that. That's how his hands are. I'm up at 3 a.m. to watch you, brother. Voyo, one hit. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the dedication. Where you calling from? Where we at? Macaulay weigh in 300 pounds. What you think? Oh, 300 pounds. 300 pounds. Wow. Now? Against Efe Ajagba? I don't know. He looks a lot smaller. He looked a lot smaller than 300 pounds. But to be fair, how much did he weigh in when he fought Joseph Parker? Yo, one hit. England. Big up. Yes, 299. 299. How much did he weigh? Let's check. Okay. How much did Martin Macaulay weigh against Joseph Parker? Let's see. Was predicted to weigh in north of 300 pounds. Okay. No, that's not telling me nothing. Let's see. Martin Macaulay to replace. Okay. He was 315, so he's 16 pounds south. What does that mean for Martin Macaulay? Well, it means that, well, for one thing, he's prepared for the fight, and he knows the fight that he's taking because he's prepared for it. It didn't spring out of just, you know, fall from heaven, you know, or pop up from hell, right? So he knows who he's fighting. And, you know, you guys seen my fight prediction on that. You know, I'm looking forward to that fight. I'm going live twice tomorrow. We got to see these fights. I have to cover these fights. It has to be done, people. It's got to go. Rolly looked like Jonathan Majors in Magazine Dreams in there at 147. Well, I mean, Rolly Romero, I mean, a lot of these guys, bro, they're fighting at these lower weight classes when they should fight closer to their walk around weight. That's the most honestly, physically a person or a fighter can be when they fight at the weight they're supposed to be at. You understand? Why do you think guys like Joey Pazienza, you guys remember the Tasmanian Devil back in the day that fought Roy Jones, that, a movie was made about him. I bleed for this, right? That's the Vinny Pazienza. I'm sorry, Joey. Vinny Pazienza, I bleed for this. It was a movie that was made in his honor. And what happened, he was fighting at 140 where he should have been fighting at 160. Needless to say, when he went to 160, he had more power, he had more strength, he had more confidence, he had more knockouts because he fought closer to his natural weight. And because he fought closer to his natural weight, he was able to get shit done. And he did that. He did exactly what he's supposed to do. And now he's known. People didn't even know he was at 140. He was at 140 for years, trying to make 140, knowing damn well he was a middleweight. He fought Roy Jones at 168. Bars. Come on. Yeah, Paz lost to the Black Mamba. Well, yeah, he did, but the Black Mamba is the Black Mamba. Shout out to Roger. Y'all don't know shit about boxing. Mayweather. People forget about that cat. And honestly, people forget that Roger was there when Senior Floyd was not. He was in jail. Okay, it's almost like Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury had Peter Fury when he didn't have John because John was in jail. Come on. Bryce Productions, thank you for that $6.99 CA coming at you. Can you watch the Ryan versus Rolly fight live from the beginning since you missed it? No, we're doing the whole card. Doing the whole card. We got to go all the way back. We got to run this back because Google lied to me. Google told me that this fight started at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, not Eastern. I know the difference. So, Kurt, I got my new Fire Stick today. I'm not paying no mo. Jose Chavez, por favor, no diga no más, porque no me quiera escuchar. Ok. Pero cuando estoy en el otro país, yo usar este Fire Stick. Pero aquí en América, yo usar, yo pagar. Do it. That's how you got to do it. Not, I didn't hear that. No se escuchan. No se escuchan. Okay, Kurt. Yeah, I was pissed as I missed most TO fight. Couldn't believe they started so early. It's crazy, though. It's crazy. I mean, I'm thinking, normally the zone has so many not stinking. I can't say that. They have so many padded fights to the point you're like, damn, you're yawning when it comes to these fights. When it comes down to getting to the main card, you're like, dude, let's see these guys fight already. You're killing me. I only found out early it was early today. But call it too heavy, it's not good. Jose Chavez, nah. Nah, it's all good, man. Todo bien. Todo bien. Todo bien. Pero este máquina es muy bien, porque tú recuerdas cuando yo usar este Fire Stick cuando yo miras una Cameron contra Whitaker 2. Porque no puedo visto este pelea porque es en el otro país. There you go. So, I couldn't watch it because it's on Sky Sports. So I had to use the Fire Stick. So there's exceptions to the rule with Fire Stick. Now, if I could watch it and pay for it, I would. If it was a package that had BT, that had Sky, that had a lot of sports channels from the UK, I would buy it. I would buy it. You know what I mean? Because you have to understand, you keep in mind, that's just like me, right? If I did a film, whatever, acting, stunts, I would want somebody to stream it by buying it. I don't want nobody to buy it or watch it through Fire Stick. Man, I've seen it. Because watching it through Fire Stick is almost like now, that's the new bootleg. Fire Stick is the new Bootleg. So when you say, man, I seen it on Fire Stick, man, you was good in that movie, man. I like that movie, man. Well, you didn't really see me. You watched it for free, didn't you? So that means you didn't even support me. You just watched the shit without paying me because I get kickbacks and percentages. And that's how I get money. That's how I draw and accumulate residuals based on the amount of people that watch by TV, by pay-per-view, by other TV streams like Hulu and Netflix and all those other platforms. You know, that's how it works. So when you do watch Bootleg, now Fire Stick, and it's broken, yeah, you're watching everything for free and you're not paying anything and you're not supporting the people that you watch. So that same cat that came to you, man, I watch your movies, man, I like Black Panther, man, you was in there, man, you did good, man. What'd you watch? I seen on Fire Stick, you know what I'm saying? I seen it on Fire Stick, man. No, you didn't help me at all. You just watched it for free. And you just told me about it. So should I take a swing at you or should I Will Smith slap you? How should it work? Then I'll tell you the funniest thing. I remember, man, this is probably about 10, 15 years ago now. Because, you know, guys used to pop out like, dude, it's a mosquito in here. Okay, Yo, one hit Kurt. What's up, brother? The stream's behind 2 on free. Ryan could have easily beat Rolly if he just jabbed more. He actually chose to lose and didn't try. Kurt, do you think Sinners is worth going to the movies? Yes, I do. I think it is. I talked to a friend of mine that loves movies. But he does. He he's a homebody, so he doesn't really go. But he's seen that, and he's seen it. It's fire. You know, a lot of times people are like, a lot of people are saying, no, it's demonic, it's this and that. I mean, dude, if you like Dust to Dawn, they didn't say that shit about Dust to Dawn. Just because it's called Sinners don't mean it ain't sin in it. They're just unapologetic about the title, Sinners. Rated R. Starts Friday. Rumor has it a kid flicked a marble and hit Amir Khan in the chin and KO'd him. Yeah, that's probably right. Skrilla 50. Yeah. And he folded up. Man, look, when Amir Khan gets hit, it's the funniest shit. Because Amir Khan gets hit and he just crumbles. Bow! He's asleep before he hits the ground. You don't know somebody that you push him off a building and they say, oh, he died of a heart attack before he hit the floor. Who says that? Who knows that? How do you prove that? But anyway, that's probably him, needless to say. Pow! Z's. Eddie Hearn is happy now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet he is, because I want to see what Oscar De La Hoya has to say. Because I know he's mad. Is he going to skip another press conference, Oscar? You and Bernard? Are you going to do Ryan like you did him in the Gervonta Tank Davis fight? I was afraid for my life. Oscar, who you afraid of? You know what I mean? Who's Oscar De La Hoya afraid of? He just tried to beat up Devin Haney yesterday. Who is he afraid of? I mean, really, who is he really afraid of? Man, I didn't buy that when I heard it. When I heard it, I'm like, bullshit. That's what it was. They didn't want to support a quitter because they both thought Ryan quit, which he did. He did a Daniel Dubois. Ryan Garcia, Daniel Dubois are in the same boat, or at least they were. So Ryan has actually 3 jackets: quitter, cheater, racist. You know what I mean? Because he was a quitter, because I think he got up at 10. If you get up at 10, that means you could have got up at 9 or earlier. Come on. People forget that Khan took some decent shots. His chin is not good, but it's not a terrible one. Well, look. Keep in mind, Danny Garcia is a hard-hitting guy. Angel Garcia said it best. What is he gonna do when he's hitting when Danny hits him with those hammers? When he hits him with them Puerto Rican hammers, what is he gonna do then? You're looking bad all around now. Roach and Tank should absolutely rematch. Need to. Roach and Tank. Yeah, they do. That needs to happen. I mean, because see, Tank needs to show that hey, that was a bad night, or hey, I can beat this guy in another fight. Uh, I watched Danny hit the heavy bag before, and that dude can thump. Yeah, see, Danny can punch. I think Danny was stupid for fighting Lara. He fight Lara. Lara is not. Let me tell you something. There's reasons Floyd didn't fight him. There's reasons Keith Thurman didn't fight him. There's reasons a lot of people didn't fight Edislandi Lara. You know, because Edislandi is not that type of guy. He was the captain of the Cuban team before him and Hakar, which is Guillermo Rigondeaux, or Rigondeaux, or however the hell you pronounce it. They were busted in Brazil. They were the captains of their teams. They were that good. Yeah. And they came back to Cuba. See, the thing is, man, you know, Fidel could have killed them. They could have ended up missing and nobody ever heard from them. But, you know, Haney has never been as boring as he was tonight. I was at the Angulo versus Lara fight. He was beating that boy like a dog. Well, that's how you fight a boxer. You fight him. That's what Angulo was doing. And until he broke his orbital bone or whatever he broke, yeah, he was looking at his loss. He was looking at a loss. Ask Skip, don't play that shit for messing with Kurt. Haney has never been as boring. Haney, yeah, Haney needs some wins. I mean, some good wins. I mean, he's not a Floyd. I looked at him once. I seen him in Shreveport, Louisiana fight for the first time. And Devin Haney, you know, he had signs of pretty boy. We know he trained with Floyd Sr. You know, so, you know, you was thinking, okay, he's this pre-Floyd, you know, the pedigree. I'm like, okay, he just needs to develop. He needs to, you know, develop and keep being more aggressive and more offensive. And, you know, I seen that jab and then that jab to the stomach, that piercing oblique jab, okay, that he was showing. And then he you know, he looked like Floyd in there and he was a lot better than he is now, honestly. But then it's like he came to his cap or never learned what he should have learned as a fighter. And because of that, I think his growth as a fighter has just came to a screeching halt. You understand? It came to a screeching halt. I don't think that he learned what he should have learned. Honestly. Hey, Kurt, still want to see the rematch between Haney Garcia. Styles make fights at the end of the day. I think Garcia has Haney's number. Maybe. Maybe. Did Haney versus Ramirez break the record for least punches thrown? I don't know. I didn't see it. Haney jumped back or clinched as soon as Ramirez landed anything. Well, see, he's just not Floyd. He's not that. And I think Floyd, Money Mayweather is a present day Shaka Zulu. What do I mean by that? Well, if you guys don't know, Shaka Zulu was an African king. And the tradition was when each Zulu, right? Each Shaka or Zulu, when Zulus got a certain age, then they would come for their father and they would kill their father or they would make their father step down. But how you do that? You have to murder that king to be king. Right? Well, Shaka Zulu, when he had a child and it was a boy, he knew I have to kill this because he didn't want to be, he wanted to be the last king. So he killed his newborn son. Oh, yeah. He killed his newborn son so he could stay Supreme Zulu, which is stupid because you're not going to stay young forever, you moron. But he cut the curse. He stopped the process. He stopped the progress by killing his son. He killed that kid because he knew that kid would come for his head one day to be king. That's tradition. That was Floyd. Floyd wanted to be the last star. He wanted to be the last star, and he did not want to be followed nor duplicated. That was Floyd. Floyd, sure, he wanted Tank to be a star. He wanted him to get out of the ghetto. He wanted him to make a better life for himself, which he did. But Floyd had no intentions ever for Tank to be bigger than him. I think Ryan versus Romero was the one to be one of the latest or one of the least shots landed. Clinching and running was an all-time high. Well, I mean, Devin Haney, you know, he does that. He does that shit all the time. People hate that style. I can't stand a jabber and grabber. Why do you think the people hate? Why do you think the people worldwide, except probably the Ukraine, hated the Klitschkos? Vladimir had it. Bro, Vladimir would win shots. Jab and grab, ding, ding, round 1 through 12, jab and grab, ding, ding, jab and grab, unless he was knocking you out. And even when he did stop you, you've seen a lot of mediocrity. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, so jab and grab, jab and grab. Now, if he was knocking you out, it was still jab and grab. You're going to look at the same shit from the Klitschko. Bow! Bow! Bow, bow! Yo, that's what you saw. If Dubois land that same body shot in London, is it game over for Usyk? Well, you best your ass that he's going to be doing that. And he's going to try to make it his priority, which he should. He should make it his priority to do exactly that. Just come up with the punch. Because in honesty, in a perfect world, if Daniel Dubois, I want people to listen to me, if Daniel Dubois landed that shot, maybe this much more or this much more, he needed to reposition the punch, the uppercut. He needed to land actually on the belt line. He needed to land around that navel area. He wanted to land in that area. If he would have landed and Usyk would have did the same thing, I just wonder, this is what I wonder. I just wonder if that was another ref, would it have been refereed differently? If only landed, exactly. But that you can say that about a lot of people. Man, if he just hit him with that shot. Dubois is definitely coming forward, but based on Usyk camp, I think Usyk is going to use offense as his best defense and be aggressive from the start. Yeah, I mean, he knows he can beat Daniel. I don't think he's too worried about Daniel. I think Usyk's just being milked. I think, the Tyson Fury fight is the biggest fight that he can make for the money, which I don't want to see that no more. But I mean, who am I to say that? Because I know what people want. I know the Fury fans want the trilogy. He didn't win the rematch, so why would you want a trilogy? That's like Wilder, really. The first fight was a draw. The second fight, he got his ass handed to him, and he went to court for a third fight, and he got it. Rene Padilla in the building. In the sparring clips you seen, Rolly gave Ryan problems. Absolutely, my brother. That's what I was saying at the first beginning of the stream. I was saying, you guys are surprised by this fight, but no, look at the sparring footage. Look at the sparring footage, right? Is a bladder shot cripple you? Like a liver shot? Yes. Yes. And that's exactly where it was. It was south of the belt line, and the belt line was south of the navel. So you had the navel, then you had the belt line, then he hit up here. He hit down below. It landed on the bottom part of the belt. Because you understand it was an uppercut. So it was moving, a punch moving upward. My baby girl's dead. Parakeet has more personality than Triple D. I sent you another super chat. Bryce Productions. Appreciate that love. Let's see what we got here. Bryce, thank you, brother. You should watch old boxing matches, boxing movies, and play boxing games live. Bryce Productions. As soon as I get my console shit up, we're going toe-to-toe. Then it's another thing. As soon as I get Undisputed, as soon as I get a PlayStation 5, I don't have it, but I will have it soon. Everybody that is a member, everybody that shows love, everybody that's a Patreon member will fight me live. And we're going to go toe-to-toe. Me and my community will go toe-to-toe. Mind you, it's supposed to be another game. Fight night, round 5. I don't know how true it is. But Bryce Productions, I appreciate the love again, my brother. Thank you. Vincent Salamatino, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Usyk's skills is several levels above Daniel, but Daniel does have the power to stop him. Well, I think if he had the power to stop him, he would have done it. And I think the argument is that if the punch was legal, the power and the punching power that Daniel has was able to stop Usyk. So that's the argument. So the argument is going to stay alive until it can't be argued anymore. When Usyk fights Dubois again, if he beats him, I want everybody to shut the hell up, please. Thank you. Pretty please with sprinkles on top. Shut up about the legal or illegal. I don't care, because they fought again, and what did Usyk do? What did Daniel do in the first fight? Garcia is an amateur. Rolly is a clown. I beat that boy. You know I beat that boy. I beat him. That's Rolly's. About to see Garcia back in Victorville soon. Usyk has nothing more to prove. He doesn't really. He could have retired last year, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Usyk could have retired and, sailed off in the sunset. Usyk best asset is his gas tank. Yeah, well, the gas tank comes from the conditioning that he puts himself through. You guys remember when Usyk used to be hurt, or used to get injured rather, because the conditioning was so strenuous. So Rolly is good for boxing. He's a good cat, man. I mean, I couldn't stand him. And I was really mad at him, and I shouldn't have been mad at Rolly like I was mad at Rolly, to be fair. Because Rolly wasn't the reason the judges, ruled for him and against the Dominican fighter. I just know the Dominican fighter beat him. Ryan is responsible for whatever is found in his body. Everybody is responsible, period. But counterpunch to you, Blaine Walker, in the building. Vincent Salamatino, I love how Usyk is wearing his new never enough gear to show you his mentality of not wanting to stop. Listen, let me tell you something about Usyk, man. He's one of those guys that people overlooked, people ignored, you know what I'm saying, until you couldn't. When he whooped Joshua's ass in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the way he did it, I told people that. You guys remember, I told you, Usyk is going to outbox Joshua. And I told people, if Joshua tries to go in there and call himself a better boxer than Usyk, he will lose. And that's exactly what happened. He was unsure. He wasn't trying to go for a knockout. He was trying to outbox Usyk to show people, I can box. I'm 18 stone. I'm heavy. And I told people, and people are like, what the hell am I watching? I'm like, dude, this is Alexander Usyk, a golden Olympian. He was the same year as Joshua. Yeah. Cruiserweight. Joshua was heavyweight. I would bet the Haney Garcia rematch still happens. It could. I mean, and see, Rolly's not opposing it. He's not trying to be the resistance. He's trying to say, you guys have your damn fight. I just beat Ryan, though. That ain't a big deal. He's already lost to Tank Davis. I lost to Tank too, but I beat him though. So I'm above Ryan and on the totem pole. Okay? Parker is more dangerous than Triple D. He may be. You guys see my video yesterday where Usyk admitted that Parker, he was afraid that Daniel would lose to Parker 52% to 48% in favor of Parker before the Parker and Dubois fight supposed to happen. And guess what? It didn't happen. Yep. If the punch from Daniel was so important, why didn't they do it the second time instead of he quit? Well, he just couldn't land it no more. And he said, oh, I was disinterested and I was in a dark place and really, had going through a lot. I'm like, man, what is this dark place shit? Let's talk about that for a minute. What is this dark place shit? What was Daniel going through in 2023? What was he going through? I mean, let's just be real. You're the WBA regular, which gave you homage or gave you opportunity to fight Usyk, and you used it. You activated your regular title to be the number one, and you got it. Congratulations. Good for you. That's okay. You beat Trevor Bryant, Don King's last fighter or one of his last, champs. He beat Trevor Bryant for like $1 million. Cool. Good for him. But at the same time, bro, where was this dark place at? That's what I want to know. You keep saying this dark place shit. Where was it? Ace 99 times. Big up. I believe the only current fighter that can beat Usyk is Jaya Pataya. Jaya Pataya, no. Jaya Pataya, sure, in 2 years when Usyk's 40. Yeah, he can beat him when Usyk's 40, but the question you ask yourself is, can Jaya Pataya beat Usyk now? I don't think so. He's not, listen, Jaya Pataya is not a better boxer than Usyk, bro. Unless Usyk looks bad or if he's slow, and if he looks bad or if he's slow, he's not in his prime no more. Bars. Usyk would annihilate Jaya Pataya, who could barely beat Usyk old wins. And I like Jaya Pataya. I think Jaya Pataya is a beast. Shout out to my island people in the building. Micronesian, Polynesian, you know who you are. Let's go. Joseph Parker is in the line to fight the winner of Usyk Parker. Usyk Dubois. You meant Usyk Dubois. I understand. It's all good. It's all good, brother. It's all good, man. I do that all the time. I'm a dyslexic bastard. Parker has a chance against Usyk. He does. And especially if he comes in a lot bigger and can hold the weight. Hold the weight. I don't mean that second round Bakali shit. Will he be able to be 267 against someone like Usyk and do that shit for 12 rounds? Or will he get tired and gas out like Michael Hunter did and then get outworked? Because all Usyk's going to do, he's going to press your, he's going to test your skill. He's going to push your will. That's Usyk. That's Usyk all day long. Parker isn't quick enough. He doesn't have better footwork than Usyk, but he has good footwork. It's almost like saying Tyson Fury's fast for a big guy, but he wasn't faster than Usyk. You see what I'm saying? It's the same concept. Look, Parker's good, but he's not as good as Usyk. But I still want to see the shit. That's like saying Erislandy Lada's good, but is he better than Floyd? We'll never know. You see what I mean? Wardley should fight Hrgovic. Well, He could fight Hrgovic, and he's probably going to fight Hrgovic. Hrgovic could be and could play the role of stepping in like Bakali did. Too bad for Jarrell Miller's shoulder injury. So, I mean, I just wish they would have said the shit from the get-go that scared the cowboy Billy shit out of everybody. Because I was afraid that Jarrell Miller, once again, has tested positive for some shit that he should not been taking. And then here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. If Jarrell Miller tests positive one time again, he's finished. But we will learn something about Jarrell Miller. Jarrell Miller has a rare disease. He's a drug abuser. See, there's a difference between a drug cheat and a drug abuser. At that point, if Jarrell Miller tests positive again for some shit in his system that don't supposed to be there, because you're responsible for each and everything that's in your body, period. That means he's no longer a drug cheat. He's a drug abuser. And what you mean? What's the difference, Kurt? I mean, it's easy. A drug cheat just cheats. A drug abuser has or feel mentally they have to take the drug to make them better. Yeah, it's athletes like that, bro. They think and they believe in their mind that I need performance-enhancing drugs to perform better. And it's a mental thing. This is a real thing. So they feel that I have to take performance-enhancing drugs and able to perform a certain way. So therefore, I cannot stop because I don't believe that I can do this naturally alone. That's a mental thing. That's a mental mindset. That's something in your brain that's telling you I need drugs to perform better. You know, a person just being a drug cheat, yeah, they're just being an asshole and a dickhead and a cocksucker and all these other things you could call a drug cheat because they tried to cut corners. Sure. But if you have to keep taking drugs because you believe that's the only way you can perform, and you be goddamn that will be the case. I must have drugs. I must take clomiphene and clenbuterol and HGH and GW1516 and all this other shit, TR and all of this stuff. I feel that I have to take this because that's the only way I'm going to perform. And no, I'm not taking it. I don't care if I get caught. I don't care if I get fined. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to just be a better cycler. I'm going to do what it takes, but I'm still doing this damn drug. That means you're a drug abuser. There's a lot of guys like that, people. There's a lot of drug cheats. I'm not going to go down there. But these guys are drug cheats, drug abusers, weight draining opponents. Yeah, I mean, people use drugs to cut weight, cut corners. Man, you watched the fights today. Man, I saw only a portion. I feel bad. That's why tomorrow morning I'm making another stream. We're going to go live. I think I'm thinking 11 o'clock my time. 11 o'clock my time to give me time to do more videos, to give me time to set up for Canelo's skull. Okay, Canelo is never the bigger fighter, so I don't think it's fair to call him a weight drainer. No, not at 168. You can't call him a weight drainer, but what you shouldn't do, he shouldn't have rehydration clauses. He can't make people, because I think if Canelo ever would have fought David Benavidez at 168, he'd probably put him on a 10-pound rehydration clause to make sure he doesn't come in bigger and bigger and bigger on fight night. Canelo just keeps sharp for Bud. Yeah, that's all he's doing. You know, he's just sharpening the sword at this point. That's all he's doing. You know what I mean? Canelo's smart, and I take my hat off to Canelo, man. Canelo is a smart fighter, and he's preparing by fighting a similar style opponent that can move. And if we go deeper into it, before the Belonga and Munguia fights, who did he fight? He fought Jermell Charlo, not Jamal, Jermell. And get this, Jermell was moving around too. Canelo asking a cruiserweight champ to lose 25 pounds is insane. Yeah. You know, but that's Canelo. I can do whatever I want. I think Bud is too small. Let's be real. They said the same shit about big-ass Errol Spence, and he beat the cowboy Billy shit out of him, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Everybody said the same thing. Errol's too big for Bud. Bud is coming at 130 from 135. Then he went to 140. Now he's at 147. Errol is going to beat him because he's just too big. You guys know what it was. Let's stop pretending like we didn't say that. Now none of you guys remember that. You guys forgot that quick. That's all we talked about was how big Errol Spence was. All we talked about, man, Errol too big, man. That's that jive alleyway, around the corner of the liquor store. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, too big. But was he? No. Haney and Ryan are both trash. Ali pinfold, counterpunch. I have no idea how or what Bud was ever doing down at 135 because he's sparring with heavyweights. If he's sparring with heavyweights and he's doing a good job sparring with heavyweights or bigger guys like Andre Ward, do you think Canelo Alvarez is really going to make a difference? Everybody thinks that Terrence Crawford is so much smaller. He's not as thick because he's not bulky. Canelo is. Terrence is probably about an inch taller than Canelo. Maybe. I don't know. I've never seen him face to face, to be fair, so I don't really know how tall he is. But I can tell you this. Terrence Crawford will find out how good he really is against Canelo Alvarez and what he's doing. He's doing a Roy Jones Jr. He's not doing a Floyd Mayweather. But he's doing it for the money. So it's everything is crossed. All the T's are crossed. All the I's are dotted because he knows, hey, I get to test myself at 168 and I get a fat ass check too. Counterpunch. No, that's what I'm saying. Bud is not that small, but I do think just carrying that weight is an actual fight will be different. Vincent Salamatino, maybe you're right. All I can tell you, like the great words of my boy, my man, Artur Beterbiev. He's been flying around here too, wreaking havoc, looking for some blood, the little blood-sucking vampiro. I always said Crawford would beat Spence as Spence is one-dimensional. Well, he beat him too, didn't he? If Canelo and Usyk could meet in at an ideal weight for both fighters, who you think wins? Usyk. Because, see, Usyk is not... Now, I mean, it'll be a good fight because Usyk will give opportunities, but Usyk is an in-and-out fighter too. He will give Canelo fits, and he will beat Canelo too. Because he's not going to just do an Eddis Landilada like a 1 and a 1-2 and a 1 and a rock. And no, he's going to charge Canelo up. Be a good fight, though. I like Canelo, but his punches are very predictable. Yeah, I mean, he has a series of shots that, you know what I mean? And he's still good, though. I don't think Bud stopping Canelo is even an option. No, I don't think so either, to be fair. If Bud was able to stop Canelo, I'll be like, bro, you're the GOAT of this era. You're the fighter of this decade. You're the cream of the crop. You're the baddest man on the hill. You are that, TC. I salute you. Yeah. I mean, you just have to he's just number one. I don't care about Inouye. I don't care about Usyk. If he beats Canelo Alvarez, he is the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Period. And you have to mark him down as one of the greatest, multi-champions. 3 times undisputed. Bro, no. Go ahead. Go ahead with that. And if Beterbiev and Canelo would be a fight that I would like to see, to be fair. Because, everybody thought that Triple G was not too big, but they thought that he was going to take Canelo down, and he didn't. And Canelo, the truth be told, Canelo can, he was going to fight Makabu. He was going to fight Makabu, which is Mark McCauley's older brother at cruiserweight up until the time he got beat by Bivol. You guys remember that? So if that's the case, if he was talking about going and fighting cruiserweights, come on. Usyk versus Bivol at a catchweight. It's funny. I think Bivol will take Usyk in a catchweight because it's a catchweight. You know, I mean, he's a heavyweight. Moving down to fight Bivol, you know. I saw no evidence that says Canelo has a body weakness and he's took heavy shots to the body like the ones of Triple G and Kovalev. No, not really. To be fair, I didn't really see Triple G go to the body at all with Canelo, which I was very surprised and very disappointed. You know, but understand Triple G was having problems. You know, especially in the first fight, pinning Canelo down because Canelo decided, hey, I'm going to box this big monster. I'm not going to fight him. The second fight, he actually fought him, which was a better fight. But they were all good, to be fair, except the third. The third was like trash. Basura. That's exactly what that was. Tony Lyons, Kurt, did you see that interview with Usyk and Triple D on the Pierce Morgan show? He was real biased towards Triple D and low-key disrespectful towards Usyk. You have to watch it. You know what? I'll tell you what. This is what you, Tony, send that to me so I can counterpunch it. I'll have it out at some time tomorrow because I got to look at it. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you. Guys, I love you guys. I'm going to make it up. We're going live 11 a.m. tomorrow. We're going to do the replay. We're going to do the redo. We're going to run it back. Hell, we can't run it back because we didn't really run it this time, did we? So we have to watch it again. Guys, join me live, okay? So everybody, my UK peeps, my people from over the pond, get some rest. I'm going to do the same. I need it, okay? I was pumped for this fight, though, bro. I was pumped for this fight. You know, don't worry. I'm going to be pumped tomorrow, and we're going to redo it. Then we're going to Canelo Skull later in the night. But you guys, be blessed, be safe. TGIF in the building. I'm glad you guys joined me today. God bless you all. See you tomorrow morning. And you all have been counterpunched. Peace. Okay.